After doing over 1,000 sales calls and actually making multiple 7 figures for my personal e-commerce coaching business, I have achieved a closing rate of 85 to 90%. And I know this might sound crazy and unheard of to you. However, listen to what I'm going to tell you here and it's going to make sense. This video is only for business owners because it's literally not applicable if you're actually in a position as a salesperson. You can only listen to the advice I'm going to give you here if you are actually running an Smma business, an agency, coaching business, or some sort of service-based business. Also, I'm going to give you the 2 main learnings I've had over doing all of those sales calls. Now, number 1 is be extremely intolerant with qualifying. If somebody is not a good fit, do not start to pitch anything. You don't even want to talk to that person if they are not fitted perfectly to you. Let's say you talk to a person who sounds super motivated, has a shit ton of money, and basically tells you, hey, I really want to start working with you. My business partner is not here, but let me speak to you. I'm going to write down everything. I'm going to explain everything to him, and we're going to get started in like 5 hours right after the call. I'm going to call him, and we're going to do everything together. Is that fine? The answer to that is no. Under no circumstance you talk to that person ever. You tell them, hey man, it's actually important for me to get a decision in the end of this call. So let's reschedule the call to a time where you and your partner have time. Because literally it doesn't matter how good of a sales guy you are, you're not convincing the business. You're just convincing half of the business. And who cares about that? And if that person is not a decision maker, you cannot talk to him. It's not your job to talk to him. It's the job for the people who work for you to qualify if he has a business partner and tell him, hey, it's very important that if you want to talk to Michael, you need to bring your business partner. Another example is, for example, if they're broke or don't have time to actually execute what you're going to tell them. If one of those factors is the case, you don't talk to them. And I've seen so often how one thing happens where you basically think to yourself, all right, I'm still going to do the sales call. Worst thing, I wasted an hour of my time, the person that didn't buy, and that's it. That's not how you think about this. If you do a full hour of a sales call with somebody, even though you already know in the end of the call, they're not going to be able to get started under no circumstances because they have to ask somebody, they're broke, they cannot execute, something is in front of the way. You are not allowed to do the call. And let me give you the reasons for that. Number 1 is you're going to be super pissed because obviously you didn't sign a client and you wasted an hour of your time, right? In the end, they're not going to say yes magically because they couldn't. And if you have a sales call after that, you're going to be going into that sales call in a worse mood. Also, even if you don't have a sales call after that, if you have 10 calls like that, your closing rate on average is actually going to go down because you're not going to join the sales calls confidently. And I've seen this happen often with me and my sales guys. If you're actually on a streak on getting rejections, it's much easier to get another rejection and basically not close another person because you're going into the call with a frame that you're not even expecting to get a yes. But the second mistake just cost me so much nerves and money. And it's basically handling objections. The problem with handling objections is in 90% of the cases, you're handling the wrong one. And it's not a real objection. Because a person can only have one true objection. They can throw tons of fake objections your way. For example, they're going to tell you, hey, listen, it's just too expensive. And then what you could do is talk about payment plans or discounts or all of that, but it's not the real objection. It's not about it being too expensive. Another thing they can say is, yeah, I have to talk to my wife. Super common one. And here again, you could also say, hey, why don't you just call her? It's not the real objection. You first have to isolate the objection to make sure that it's actually real. And if it's not, you don't even acknowledge it. So for example, a very realistic thing they can say is something like, yeah, look, I want to do it, but I'm just the type of person who cannot make decisions fast. I really need to think about it. Let me sleep over it for one night. And tomorrow I'm actually going to be able to tell you. Something like that, you might start arguing, hey, but nothing is going to change till tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to be in the same situation and da-da-da-da-da. If you just completely ignore what they said and ask them directly, right now, what actually makes you unsure? Be honest. They're gonna go a little bit more specific. And what you have to find out is what the real objection is. Do not waste your time on handling all those fake objections. You're gonna see so many YouTube videos about how to handle objections, which is the easiest part ever. So if you found out what the actual problem is, for example, they think it takes too much time to apply your strategy and they don't actually have 5 hours per day to apply it. That's, for example, an objection which a real person can have. They're going to throw a bunch of shit your way, but if you actually find out that is the real one, what you do then, you literally just explain what the reality is. Look, from our experience, you just need 2 hours. For example, if that actually is the case. If it's not, then the real objection is actually legit and you shouldn't even sell shit to them because obviously you don't want to sell somebody something which they can actually not apply. But if you can isolate what the true objection is, everything is going to be so much smoother. Now, to be honest, what I've personally noticed is sales calls can just do so much. The reason for those closing rates was number one, I was qualifying right. Number two, I was handling the objections right. And number three, I had amazing leads which loved me. I already framed them through them watching a shit ton of my YouTube videos, and they basically understood that I'm legit. And because they understood it, it was very easy to actually sell them something. So in most cases, I didn't even have any objections. The people just literally threw their money at me and said, here, please take my money. Let me work with you. I want to work with you. Can you accept me? That was literally the frame in most of the calls because I did a good job on YouTube. And if you are running an SMMA business, an agency business, or some sort of coaching or service-based business in general, you're doing a huge mistake by not having a YouTube channel. Because every single person which signs up through your funnel will want to watch some sort of content from you. And they are not able to do that if you don't have a channel. Now, obviously, the channel also has to be good. The same way how you can market yourself, you can also demarket yourself. And people watch you and basically don't show up to your sales calls at all anymore because your content is shit. You literally can't afford to not run a YouTube channel. So the question is just this. Are you going to try to do everything by yourself and make everything perfect by yourself? Or will you hire an agency like us, which is just going to guide you through the entire process for you? We will tell you how to do the videos. We're going to run discovery ads, which are literally going to boost your YouTube channel like crazy for you. And also we can handle the editing and the thumbnails for you as well. So if you're actually interested in that, click the link below, sign up for a call. We're going to find out if we're a good fit. And by the way, also, if you already are running a YouTube channel, but have not scaled your business to 6 figures a month yet, you are doing a lot of things wrong. You can have way less than 20K subscribers and you should still make over 200K a month. Again, if you do things right. So if you're interested, click the link below and I will talk to you very soon.